right, there we go. Hey everyone, Richard Carlton here. Welcome to another great day of FileMaker training at fmtraining.tv. I'm the creator of fmtraining.tv, where you can learn all about the FileMaker platform and learn how to build better FileMaker applications for you, your customers, your organization. This broadcast is completely free to everyone and is being broadcast in high definition to Discord, YouTube, and to Twitch. This broadcast is being recorded, which is really great. Of course, we might clean up the recording a little bit, so if we make a malfunction during the live stream, then of course we reserve the right to clean that up on the recording later on. However, because it's a live broadcast, we encourage you to ask questions. In fact, some people get aggravated when there's this dialogue with you and we ask questions. We want questions. If you have a question, odds are other people have the question too. And so I want to thank everyone for logging in, Ken and TK and Dave One, Dave Learning, Ed, Elzo, Carol, Jake, Mike, all of you, welcome once again to another great broadcast. Now, as a reminder, if you want to check out the upcoming broadcast, go to fmtraining.tv, press the left tab for the live button. You can see the upcoming broadcast schedule. That's pretty awesome. Additionally, if you want to help support this channel, right? We always say this, this broadcast is brought to you by fmtraining.tv, bringing you the greatest and the most entertaining FileMaker training videos available. So the idea is that if you want to help support the channel, make sure you check out our on-demand video bundles. We have videos that cover the latest version of FileMaker. We have videos that cover the deploy course. In fact, we used to sell the courses individually. Anymore, it's just much simpler to sell a complete bundle for a low price. We do this on an annual basis. So if you buy one of the bundles, that really helps support the channel. It ensures that we can keep coming back every day, because this broadcast actually takes a lot of money to run. The people here don't work for free. As much as I would love that to be the case, they do want to get paid. So moving along, today's broadcast is being supported by the folks at the Los Osos office. That would be Haley Marie, Christian Olson, and the awesome coaching team down there. They're originating the broadcast. And so let's go ahead and cut over to them right now and get our guest speaker going as well.
So welcome back, everyone. This is Wednesday, and we are here for day 2 of building themes in FileMaker. So Nick, welcome back. I wasn't here for day 1, but I hope it went well and was exciting.
Yes, hello everybody. Hello, Haley. Thank you for the introduction. And yes, everything was fun yesterday. So we are going to continue for the next 2 days. I mean, today and tomorrow, we are going to continue this exciting theme construction kind of session. Today, we are going to work a little bit more in depth of this. And so preparing this demo today, I discovered a bug in FileMaker, and that is a bad bug. So it's I know what they did, and it's a rookie mistake what they did here. It's a bug that is getting in and out, depending on the revision of FileMaker. So I'm going to show you the bug right in a moment. So today we are going to play again to continue to build objects, and as we build object, you're going to discover how objects are built. I mean, what compose an object, the background and the raw, the active raw, the inactive raw, etc. Right? The press button, and we are going to learn more about states and on the theme, right? On the style, the theme, style, and states. You have different steps like this. So we are going to learn about this much more, and I'm going to show you the bug, and we are going to continue building things. So I want to go there, and I want to share my screen right quick, right? Because that's the goal of the game. Okay. Okay, so we left over yesterday here, and so the bug I was talking about earlier is that we have here tools here when you select an object, you have tools here, and you have two. You have copy and paste and copy and paste. So those two buttons here are working that way. Let's say I have an object. Let's say I have a field. So let's put a field here. And this field has a completely different kind of, completely different style, okay? And this is 0000. See, okay, so that's the style of this. And what I want to do, I want to suck up this style here. I want this field to look like this field, okay? So what I do, I select my original field. I press this copy button here. This is copy. See if you have the rollover copy, the object style. Okay. And then I click here on the destination object and I paste a style to one or more objects. Bam. See, so now they have both the same style. Of course, I could have done this. I could have go there and say, okay, I want the default back and I want to revert to the style. I could have done that too, okay? But sometimes, especially when you have kind of a unique object that just you want to modify or whatever, so I want to show you that you can copy and paste a style. So now, here the problem FileMaker has. So let's say I have those objects. I have this one, and I have this one, right? And they are all. So I'm doing this, and I want to apply. Let's say I want to apply this style to those two. Okay. So I select this. I copy the style, and I select those two. Bam! It's not selectable. I can't use the paste. This is a bug. If I select one, I can. If I select two, I cannot. So let's show you using FileMaker 18. Okay. So I select this, copy. I select those two, and I can paste on two. So that's a bug in FileMaker 19. So let's continue with 18. So FileMaker, if you're listening, you messed up with a big bug. Okay, so that happened. It's a bug that's coming in and out. So I'm pretty sure this bug already have been reported, or I can't believe that has been left ignored. So I can't believe that. So I'm going to make sure that they know. But if they're listening, FileMaker, if you're listening, you messed up this. You need to fix it ASAP. So, okay, so Canberra, we have a question. What is the difference between your method and using the dropper from the layout tools? Let me finish, Canberra. Yeah, there's no, there's no really kind of a difference between those two. But that's a different, I will show you what the difference. So if you do this, you copy this and you paste it, it does exactly the same thing. Okay, so this and this do the same thing, but I have the tendency of ignoring this. Why? Is because the method that this is using to do this is not the same. Pretty much, this is dirtier than this. It works the same, but it doesn't. It's a theme, and underneath you have it's a long piece of text, right? Where you have the definition of every single object with the colors, code, and the size, the thickness of the border, the font, etc., etc. So you have a piece of text with all the style. It's a style sheet, like CSS style sheet, right? So the painter is recreating a new section of the block that's for that object is ignoring what it's already there, and it recreate a new block. That means when FileMaker is reading the code, it starts reading the code that was before, right? And then he applies. You know what I mean? It doesn't replace the previous code. It put a new code after the other one, right?
Got it.
So when you use this two, doesn't do that. It's much smarter. So don't ask me why they didn't reconcile those two. I wasn't in that discussion. This is pure FileMaker development. FileMaker application, C++, whatever, Objective-C kind of thing. I don't know why, but I know by the fact that those two have this slight difference of one being more dirty than the other. So that's why I'm not. And you will see that we have another copy paste here for the state, where so since you have to use those two, it's better to start using those two as well. Okay. So let me continue. So let's continue about building objects. So we have buttons here. Let's build some buttons here. So let's put the field back. By the way, before this, we can start building this kind of object. So we have another object here, and that is a good opportunity for me to tell you how themes are working. This is a date, but you have two different type of dates field. Okay, it appears like a field, but it is not a field. It is a drop-down calendar. Here, it's an edit box. This is a drop-down calendar. How I am defining this? Well, if I remove the icon, if I would say, okay, don't include the icon to show the calendar, this becomes an edit box. At the moment you click this, so that's why it's kind of confusing sometimes. Edit box or drop-down calendar, it's still an edit box, even though you said drop-down calendar. It becomes a real drop-down calendar when you include the icon. And then you have a completely new object that has to be defined, correct? So, because now we are dealing with a drop-down calendar. I know, guys. Look, don't get me there, okay? I know it's confusing, and that's why I'm here to help you, to make the complex easy, okay? You know now that this can be tricky, and it's not the only trick that you're going to encounter here. That's why I made this session 3 days. So yes, you define as a drop-down calendar, but if you include the icon, then now it is a drop-down calendar object. Otherwise, yes, it is a drop-down calendar control style, but it is an edit box. And you have the same kind of weird behavior with the drop-down list. Okay? The drop-down list, it's an edit box until you say you want the arrow. Now it is a drop-down list, right? So both of them, the drop-down calendar and the drop-down calendar and the drop-down list has the same weirdo behavior. Okay. So let's see how we can fix that. How can I get a drop-down calendar out of my style here without to redo everything? Okay. So how you do that? You copy the style of this as an edit box. You click to include the icon, and now you paste the style. So you transferred the style from the edit box to the drop-down calendar. why the question will be why FileMaker is not doing that is because FileMaker is stupid. Okay, so software doesn't know anything. Okay, it was kind of tricky for them to do that automatically. Okay, so we are dealing. Okay, just joke apart, all jokes apart. Okay, we are dealing with extremely complex interaction here. Unfortunately, I cannot show you some of my documentation that I still have from that time. But it's massively complex, massively complex. You can't even imagine the complication of this. You can't fathom that. Okay, so it is already magical that it works as it is. Okay, it's magical. Okay, it's magic. So I'm not going to push them too much. I'm kidding when I'm saying FileMaker is stupid, but I mean, the software, they did what they could, okay? And it's trust me, it's already beyond all the expectation, okay? So you copy and paste the style here. Now we have to deal of something here, okay? So how you do, when you finally, so let's step back. This is an edit box. So that means here, you see here on the style, I have only one style, edit box. Okay, I have only one component here, edit box. Let's say now I have a drop down calendar. So now here I have more components inside the drop down calendar. I have the drop down calendar itself, which is this part here. So let me draw here. This part here, that's the drop down calendar. I have the button, which is the icon here. The button which is this button here, this side here, the small side on the small gray area here, and I have the icon, which is the icon inside. So here, I want to transfer whatever inside the normal here. I want to copy the style of normal. Here, you are copying the style of normal. So I'm going to show you later how we deal with this, but I'm copying the normal style. I'm going to the button. Oh, I can't do that. Yeah, I can do that. Sorry for that. Okay, let's rewind. So we need to replicate pretty much. We need to replicate what it is, but it's not complicated. So we need to replicate what is there. We can copy paste the thing here. So let's do it manually. So we copy this, we copy the color, and we transfer the color in the button. Okay? Unless you want another color. But I don't want another color. I want the same color. Then you can see you have a line here. So the line is part of the button here. And also the line is gray, right? But I don't want the line here. I want no line, no separation. I don't want that. Okay? And now I'm going to take care of the drop-down calendar icon, and I want it to be white. Okay? Actually, it's not white. It's this almost white here. Okay? So now I have a calendar that looks like, more than like it was before, right? So it looks better. But now we have a problem here. Normal is done. I've done it, because I've done the normal. Because you have, for each component, you have the normal, the hover, the press, and the in focus. For all of them. For buttons, the same. Normal, hover, press, focus. And for the icon, the same. Normal, hover, press, and focus. Because you can have a different color and different style for those states. So what is the state? See here. So what we want here, see, when I press the thing, see, it's doing this, see, I don't want that to happen. Okay, I don't want that to happen. So I need now to transfer, because now if you look there, over, press, see the press, and the in focus, right? So what I want to do, I want to make sure, right, that the pressed button, right, and the hover are the same. Hover is the same, but the press is not the same. So I'm going to transfer whatever style from the normal. I click normal. See, I go to the normal. Then I go to the pressed, and I paste it. So then when you use the copy paste here, you suck from the drop down calendar from the top of here, and when you say you want to copy the normal state, you copy the normal state from calendar, button, and icon as well.
Oh, that's cool.
Right?
Yep.
Okay, so and you paste it as well. You're going to paste into the button pressed and the icon pressed. When you hear, everything you do here will be for all free. Then after that, if you want to, there's an alarm somewhere. It's a phone number. If you want to customize, you can customize. For example, you want the button and you want the hover to be orange. Okay, the hover on the button. Okay, so when you go there, it's orange, hover, and then you say, okay, I want the button here, the pressed, to be green. Okay, so here orange, green, right?
Okay.
So you can customize, you can do whatever you want. I don't want to be there to do that for now because this is not the style of the Discord kind of the Discord application kind of design, right? But so I'm going to put back on pressed, back, and focus, I don't care, and hover.
While you're doing that, TK wants to know, is it possible to apply a theme on the displayed calendar?
No. So as you notice, this here is not the same on PC, it's not the same on Mac, it's not the same on WebDirect, and it's not the same on iOS devices. And even though when you use WebDirect, it won't be the same on Chrome, won't be the same on Safari, is because this is tied to the system. This is not generated by FileMaker. This stuff here. This is the system. So it's outside of the style. It's not actually. Yeah, it's FileMaker generating it, but using the UI provided by the OS that is using that the FileMaker is running on. Okay, so no, you cannot apply a style here. No, sorry for that. So now I have a calendar here. So let's go and continue a little bit more with those fields here. So we have the radio buttons and we have the status, and let's walk on those fields here. So let's remove those, and let's start working on those. Okay. So you notice that the calendar here, okay, the drop down calendar and the drop down menu, it's kind of similar, right? So what you can do now, we have the calendar done. We can copy the calendar and we can paste on the drop down, and voila, because it shares exactly the same structure. So that's a good trick for you. If you start building the date, for example, the calendar, you can copy paste the style to the drop down calendar, to the drop down menu. If you start building the drop down menu, you can copy paste to go and build the calendar without doing anything. It's done. It's there because it's sharing the same. Building blocks. Both of them are the same object pretty much, right? The only thing they are different is they don't display the same thing here, right?
Yeah.
But you know what I mean. But it's the same. See, so and normally, so you have the same. So see, a date you have the drop down, the calendar itself, the button and the icon. Here you have the drop down list, the button, the icon. See, like the same construction. And here for the pop-up menu, you have pop-up menu, button, and icon. So you guessed it. You can continue and paste the style there, and then boom, you have the pop-up menu as well. So it's very cool. So here you have, you see, and that the pop-up menu and the drop-down calendar, the drop-down menu and the drop-down calendar. So you see, it's very cool because now that you know, thanks to me, that those objects are exactly, they have the same structure. You don't have to build them one by one. You can build one and copy paste the style here and paste it, right? And then you can play within that. You play within the hover state, the present, and focus. You use this copy and paste here, which this one doesn't provide. So pretty much, you know, I don't do this object. I'm not using this object since. Fortunately, we cannot remove it, but I'm not using this object since, I don't know, FileMaker. I never used it, by the way, and I never use it. I mean, it's never. Maybe in the past, FileMaker 9 or FileMaker 8, but anyway. So now let's take care of those two objects here, which are identical as well. Okay, so we are going to take care of the drop of these checkboxes, and then by magic, we're going to have the radio button. Okay, so so it is here, for example, we need to take care of something. So do not put any background there. Do not put don't use background. Don't try to put a border on those objects. You know, don't try to do this because you don't have controls on the padding. Here, what you get when you do this, you know what I mean? You get something like this. You cannot have control on the padding here. You have the control on the text, but you don't have the control on the button.
Gotcha.
So that's why if you want to do something neat and nice and beautiful, you don't use none of those. Okay, there's no border, nothing. So if you want a border behind this, you just draw a square like this, and you know, and then you put on the bottom, on the back, and then you have this. Okay, so but you don't put any you know what I mean, right? It's you don't put that. Okay, so we are going to deal with the button here. So button on I want to replicate this code. So in this code, buttons like this. Let me check. I know there's somewhere buttons like okay. On this code, those buttons are pretty big. Okay.
Yeah.
They're pretty big. Okay. So how we can make that big? Okay. Those buttons here are driven by the size of the fonts. Okay. So visually, I think 22 would be nice. Okay.
Yeah.
So here, you see, we have a compromise here. We have a problem because now we have a big text here on those buttons, right?
Yep.
So we don't want that to happen. So here what I'm doing normally. Okay. So here you see they are a checkbox like a Boolean. Yes, no. Those are yes, no kind of answer. Do not scan, yes. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Keep me safe, yes. You see, so it's Boolean. So we can keep that for this big. We can keep that big for the Boolean. Okay. Boolean means yes, no. Okay. So I want to copy. It's okay. I want to copy this for the text. So I'm going to apply this color for the text. Right?
Okay.
And so now we are going to apply, there's no background on the button here. So I want this to be transparent here. Mm-hmm. So you see checkbox, you have the set, you have the checkbox, and you have the icon. So the checkbox here, I don't want background. And let's go and take the color picker here. And I want to pick, hold on, and I want to go to pick the color of the border, right? So this is the color of the border. So I want the same color for the border. So how I'm going there? I'm going there and I say, okay, I want this color here. Let me control first if I don't have the color. No, I don't have it. So I have that the color of the border for this. Then so we good for the background. Now what I want, okay? I want the icon, okay? So icon definitely is not like this. So let's say because we can't really replicate this, because when it's empty is, you know what I mean? We can't really replicate this one because we cannot have this state empty, not empty with the background when it's we cannot have this. Okay. So we are going to compromise. So I want the back. Now I'm going to put the color here, this color as an icon. And I'm going to check, and I'm going to use the checkbox as they use here, even though the checkbox is a little bit different, but it's okay. You know, it's we can't have perfection here. Okay, it's we can get what we can. Okay, but pretty much this is okay. Okay, is better than nothing. Okay, and of course I want some padding here, because because what I want to do, I want to be able to do this, and that's what I was saying. This is the Boolean.
Gotcha. Okay.
So Boolean is this. So what we call Boolean is I want 1 here, okay? Or you can even put true if you want, but I prefer to put 1. I put 1. So now it's 1, none, 1, none, 1, none. And you can see here, I still have a press effect here. I have a press effect that I don't want, right? Mm-hmm. So I need to make sure, I need to check my states. Hover, pressed, and in focus, right? So, oh yeah, but that, because the press, okay, hold on, checkbox, hover, press. I think we cannot get rid of this. Oh yeah, here. Okay. So this is the in focus of the checkbox that makes this effect blue. I want to have this effect, the purple effect, which is the purple is the default of Discord. So that's what I want. When I click, see?
Yep.
When I click, it's purple, like the in focus. You know what I mean? Makes more sense. Okay. So if you want to deal with the state here, you need to go to the checkbox itself, because what we want this, and then we have the icon color. So you see, so the icon here, it's unfortunately we don't have a lot of control here on the icon. I wish we could have a little more space between, you know what I mean, between the end of the okay. I wish we have control here. Unfortunately, we don't. So, but this is okay. Now, I have this checkbox, which is great. And I'm going to save that checkbox as a new style. And I'm going to call this checkbox alternate 1. Okay? I'm not going to call it default, because I'm going to build the default now. The default is for this kind of values when I have multiple checkboxes. So I'm not going to put that big. I'm going to put, well, what is the size here? We put the size is 15. So let's put 15, right? Because that's the size of the text.
Yep.
Let's put Helvetica No, which is the default font here. And so pretty much, and pretty much we're ready here. This is what I want, right? Looks better, right?
Yeah.
So now it looks like more, and we can have maybe a less padding here. Okay. So, and see, now I can have this. So I can call that my default. Okay. So now, how can I go back to default? I click I copy the style of this. I reset to default. That means I lose the style. I go back this. I paste the style again. Oh, he said, oh yeah, he copied. He understand that I'm in a stupid. It is stupid. Now you know what I mean. Okay, hold on. Pause. This is the question of I don't remember who. Canberra asked me between the paste on top here and the copy paste on this one. I copied the style. I went back to default, and then I paste the style, right?
Yep.
And now he says, okay, you came from the checkbox alternate one. You cannot fool me. The style you copied is this style. You know what I mean?
Yes.
He got it. So that means he didn't recreate a new style on top of this. So now I need to fool it. Okay?
Okay.
So pretty much I need to redo it from scratch, but it's okay. We can fool it. That's a way to fool it. You go there, you copy the normal here. I think this is working. Yeah. So see, I went there, and then now I need to pretty much. Okay, hold on. Let's go back. Okay. I copy the normal on this. I copy the normal state on this. I go to default, and I paste on the default. I paste the normal. So I didn't paste the style itself. I paste the style of the normal state. So that means it's a trick, right? It's a trick. That means you copy the normal state and you paste it, because otherwise he cannot understand. He understands that you came from another style, and you say, oh yeah, you cannot fool me. You came from another style. Why they do that is for optimization. Is to prevent you to copy paste, because they realize something. FileMaker 12, FileMaker 13, you could copy paste. Each time you were doing this, you were adding. Each time we were pasting, you were adding pretty much 20 lines of codes underneath. So let's say in the history of the layer of the solution, you paste that 2,000 times, which is very quick. In 6 months, you copy paste 2,000 times. It was adding. So your theme was something like 200 megabytes of themes, right?
Dang, yeah, that's a lot.
And it was slow, and it was crashing, and it was okay. So that's what that I was telling you about this two difference, right? So now that I have the defaults, the normal, I'm going to make sure that everything looks okay in focus. It doesn't have the in focus on the icon here. See, it doesn't have the in focus of the old one, right? So what you do here, so let me, first of all, what you do, you save this as defaults. So now you have two styles, this one. Now I'm duplicating this status here, and oh yeah, I don't need to do that. I click here, and just because I want to change when you click, I want that to be purple. I don't want that to be blue. Okay. So what I'm doing here, I just go to the checkbox and I go to focus and I change the color because I have it in my library. So sometimes it's faster to do that instead of copy paste the style, blah blah blah. So now see, I have what's the name? How they call that? I have an X as and here in this style here, I have. See, so in the style you can save whatever is an X or a check. Right?
Oh, got it. Mm-hmm.
So let's say I want both to be a check. So I'm going there, I say check. I go there, see it changes. Now defaults change it as save as default. So now also my default will be a checkbox or a check mark. Okay? So let me go back to Discord. Do we have question here?
No, just a comment from Moki that they just used a button with conditional formatting. This was part of a conversation a little bit ago.
Okay.
But no questions.
So
Nothing on Twitch or YouTube.
yeah. So so now that as we discovered that those three objects have exactly the same roots, right? Those two has the same root as well. You have the set, the bar, the radio button, and the icon. Here you have this, you have the checkbox and the icon. So you can copy this and paste it here. Boom. But here you have something different that you can do. Okay, you can do something like this. I want inside, for example, I want my icon to be purple. Okay, if you want, see, you can do whatever you want here, but I like the gray better. It looks better.
Yep.
So you have what's the name? You have one. What's the name? You have one checkbox and one radio button that looks good, right?
Yep.
So let's continue a little bit. Any alternative for color slurb on Windows? No, I don't know. Yeah, check. Go on your whatever marketplace for application and search for color, copy color. Sucking color, slopping color. I don't know how they call that. I'm not a window guy. Maybe another window person can help our agent Chevy friend. Okay, so let me go. So I think we're good for this object here. So let me go further and start working on our object like buttons. Okay, and because those are interesting objects, so we can put that on the side here. Okay, so you have buttons, you have popovers, and you have button bars. Okay, so all those, they share the same roots, but those two are identical objects, but those not this. Okay, so let's take care of the button. So first of all, we need to identify buttons on Discord. That's pretty easy. So the main button on Discord, this is the main button on Discord. We have those, purple with their the color, the white color underneath. Mm-hmm. Okay. So let's suck the color. So I'm going. You know how I'm sucking color. So I'm doing here. Okay, here. So I have the color, which is normally I already have it in my libraries. This is the color. I already have it. So let's deal with this. So the button is 5 pixel round kind of 5 or 3. No, it's 3. Okay. So 3 pixel round corner. Okay. Then we have the color of the background here, which is purple. There's no border. And the color of the font is this color. No, it's white. Okay? And we can assume that the icon, see the button, we have 2 objects. We have icon, the button, on the button we have the text, the button, and we have the icon. And the icon is white. Okay? I assume it's white.
Yeah.
So, because there's no button with icons on Discord, I didn't find one. So now we have this. Okay, so we have the background, we have everything and stuff like that. So that's it, right? The button's done. Now, it is done and it's not done. Okay, so first of all, I forgot about the Helvetica. No, and it's 14. So yeah, you're right. It's not Helvetica, it's Unisense, but they have a Unisense modern. They call that the modern Unisense, and it's not installed in the system. It's not installed in the system. So I don't want to use a font that is not in the system. It's there. This is the one I download, but it's the capped one. But I installed it. It's not in the system, so I don't want to use one that is not in the system. And the closest one is what's the name? Helvetic Canary. So 14, okay, for this font. Now you say, okay, yeah, I have my buttons done is here. No, because you have the hover state, you have the press state, and you have the unfocus. Okay. So here I'm going to tell you why FileMaker, when you copy a color, let's say you have a color, you drag this color here, why FileMaker automatically gets me a lighter and a darker? Why FileMaker is doing this, right? You know what I mean? Why they do that? So
color schemes.
No, it's because it's so why they do that because let me I want to remove this. Okay, I want to remove. Oh, I can't remove that. I need to take this and this. Okay. So anyway, so why? It's because FileMaker gives you automatically the possibility to get the hover and the pressed.
Oh.
So now, if I'm putting a beep here, kind of something beep. Now I have hover press, hover press, hover press. So what is the they have it. So on Discord, the pattern is not this. On Discord, the pattern is slightly on the hover, slightly darker than this. So how you do that? You go to other color, right? You use the HSB slider and you play with this. It's a little bit darker. So you put 82. That will be enough to be darker. See?
Yeah.
See, it's enough. Now, what they do, so that the hover and the pressed is even more darker. So you go there, HSB slider, and here you say 78. So now we have this and this. See, it's this and this. It's subtle. It's not like bing bang, it's not like it was before, or when sometimes what I'm saying, white, black, that's too much, right? You don't, when you do the hover and the press like this, it needs to be extremely light and neat. See here?
Yeah.
See? It's not like boom, bam, it's very like this, you see it, you see it, it's not, you see the difference. Doesn't need to be like blam. Okay. So now I have a nice button here. But I want to build some alternate. So this one, we call that default. We save it. And as you can see, that's something interesting. Okay. That's what I want to show you. Sometime, and you need to be careful with this. Sometime, okay, the button here, right? And this are the same. They are button. This is a button. This is a button. This is a button. Even though it's a popover, it's not. It's a button. That's why they put together here. It's a button. It's not a popover. It's a popover. This window here. But this, it's not. This is a button. So if I change the default for button, hold on. Why didn't it work? Oh, I saved hold on. Yeah. So if I save the style on button, Blimbo, he saves the style of my popover as well. So sometime, and that's what we are going to check tomorrow. So sometimes say, oh yeah, I'm saving the default style for my button, and blah. You have all the popover all across your software, your solution that completely messed up because you said, oh yeah, just change the button. No, you didn't change just the button. You change the buttons, the popover as well, because this is a button. It's not a popover. right? I hope
Right,
that
yep.
you got that, right? So now I have my new default, which I got the popover as well, right? I mean, the button of the popover as well. I need to use the right terminology here. Now I want to create some alternate version of those buttons. So we have many alternates here. So we have first one, we have this one, okay? The gray like this. So I'm slurping the thing, you know. I don't know if you can hear it, but it's doing, each time you click, it's doing like
Yeah,
this.
I can hear it a little bit.
It's disgusting. Okay, so I duplicate my button here, okay, and I just paste the color, and I want to keep that color, right? Here, I have it. That's it. So now I need to double check here and here and here. So now, remember what we did for the hover? Okay, so that's the same thing. What is the hover? The hover is this color. I go to my slider here, and I remove 2 out of 56. So now it's 54. Okay, and what is the pressed is the same color, and I remove 5. So it's 51. Okay, so now here, out of the blue, I have a brand new button with the hover state, see, which is gray. So now I select here, I click, I say new style. Otherwise, I replace the style, the default. And this is button alternate 1. So why I'm not calling button gray, button purple? Oh, because if tomorrow I don't like the purple anymore, it's green. It's not button purple. It's not button purple. So I need to rename the button and say no. You just have alternate 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you at one point after that, when it's your theme, you start learning it. You start know by heart what you have, right? Of course, as I said, now if I'm going here, I have 2. I have default and alternate, right? And of course, I can use those 2 for popover buttons as well, right? So that's cool. And then you can see the button bar here never got affected by what I've done. And that's why it's a different object here. See what I mean? Those 2 are together. Here is the same object. It's a different object. Those are the same object. Those are not. So, and that's why they didn't get affected by what I've done here. But let's build another alternate button here. I saw there's many here. I think it's on. Yeah, here.
And
see
Nick,
here.
real quick, while you're doing that, just wanted to let you know we have about 5 minutes left. So if you can find a good wrap up.
So yeah, okay, we can do something else. Let's do the button bar here. Let's end up with button bar. So you got a point on this. You can create more. I'm going to create more anyway. Before, by Friday I will have a complete theme completely done and and verified and debugged and whatever. Yeah. But still, already we have kind of a pretty advanced theme here. So let's do the button bar. Button bar, there's a lot of things on the button bar. You have the bar itself, okay, and you have the dividers, which is easy to understand what it is this, the bar between. Then you have the segments. That a segment, it's a button itself. It's a button inside the bar.
Yeah.
Okay. And inside segment, you have the active, inactive. Oh, those are 2 new, because you don't have here. Here you have normal hover, press, or focus. Here you have inactive, active, hover, and press and in focus. So you have 2 new states. Okay. And of course, you have the icon, which we know, icon for active, icon for inactive, blah blah blah. So let's work on the button bar itself. You don't want to use actually you cannot have a background, but here you have the border. Okay, I don't want borders on my button bar. Okay, actually So I don't want borders. And I'm going to use that example here as a button bar here. I'm going to use that as a button bar. Okay, I want to replicate that. Okay.
Gotcha. Okay.
So I want pretty much no background on the button. Active, inactive, or active, I don't want background. Actually, active, I want a background. So inactive, I don't want background. So hover, I don't want background. Yes, there's a background on a hover. Yeah, okay, so there's a background on hover. So we are going to suck up all the colors here. So let's take care of the active button. Okay. So that's the active button here, and we are going to suck up the color here for the active button, right?
Yep.
Oops. So active buttons, it's this color, so we can even keep it. Okay. So this color here is the active. So how I can test my active? You go here and you can see. Okay, I need to remove the divider here, which is polluting the visual. No divider. Actually, I can say none. So here you can, I don't know if you can see it, but it's because normally it should be on the, what's the name? It should be on the background that is darker. So here, see. So let's copy this color here right quick. The color of the background here, and paste it here on the shape. Anyway, that's what I wanted to do for the shape anyway. So I'm going to save that as default for the shape. But that doesn't make any sense. Why? Did I suck the right color here? I don't think so. Hold on.
I thought you got the background.
I think I got the wrong one. This is what I want. It's darker than this. Yeah. Okay, normally I have this. Okay, so the background. So now you will see that you can see the active much more.
Yeah.
Okay. And now that the active button here on Discord is white, the color. Okay. So I'm back in the active, and I go here and I say I want white color. When the inactive is not white, is this half white here, right? So now I have a button that looks like, you see, like Discord, like this one. Of course, we need to take care of the font size, right? Mm-hmm. So I go on the segments. So I'm in segment here, right? Font size. So the font is Helveticano, and the font size is 15, right?
Yep.
Now I need to take care of the icon, right? Which is inactive is this color, and active is that color is white, So now you have this. See? Now you can see the button bar much better. Okay?
Yep.
So now if you notice, we have a hover state here, see?
Yes.
And we have a press and a hover state. So the hover state here, it's a little bit darker than the active state. So I'm going here, and I'm going to copy the active state color. So pretty much, so the color for active state is this one. So I'm going to the hover, I'm selecting this color, and I'm making a little bit darker, a little bit darker, okay? So I'm going here, and I'm going to my HSP, and I said I want 24, okay? A little bit darker. So now I have my hover, and my hover here also, it makes a little bit on the hover state. The color for the color for the inactive what's the name text. I'm going to my hover. going to the text, is this one slightly lighter. So I get 89. So now, and I need to replicate the same thing on the icon for the hover. So the icon for the hover is this on 89, right?
Yeah.
So now I have a hover state here, but to have a hover state working, I need to have I need to have an action on the button. Otherwise, I don't have a hover state. Okay, so I'm putting some action right quick here. Okay, and so now I have a hover state, which is a little bit. You see, it's darker than the active state.
Yep.
But lighter than the background, than the inactive state, right?
Yeah.
And here, so I said no divider. Maybe I did a mistake here with the no divider, because there's a divider here. See, that's a divider here. A little bit. So, and also those buttons are rounded and stuff like that. But we cannot have this under, unfortunately. We cannot have a round border inside. Yeah, we can. Yeah, let me try this. Let me try this right quick. So we need a solid this color divider. So it's yeah, it looks maybe a little bit thicker, the divider. You can put the divider a little bit thicker, free. So now we have something that looks like bed not freeze too much. Let's put the divider 2 pixel, 2 points. Okay. So now here we have a, but the divider is not good. We cannot have a divider here because otherwise it kills. I don't know if I can have a divider like this. No, let's see. No, it's okay. It doesn't have to be the exact replication, but we are very close, by the way, to what Discord do. It's we have this, and we have this, but actually it's because this is way too big, and see, so looks closer, looks close. Okay.
Yeah.
So okay, so this was kind of a button bar. So we saw that all those all those objects today. Tomorrow we are going to check the portals, and the portals is important. Portals and the slide controls. Okay, both tabs and slide. Which is not too complicated. So that was much more complicated. So if we have some questions, the time maybe to answer some questions.
TK's question was, is it possible to set the label of a new field to always appear on top of the field?
Yes. Okay, because it's hard to break old habits, but now I'm not using that button anymore. This drag and drop thinking, I'm not using that. I'm using this because you can choose whatever you want. Here, for example, I want to drag the email with the label on top. I can drag the email with the label on the left. Or, my favorite, I can drag the email with the label as placeholder, which is great and faster, because when you have because the placeholder, you need to make the if you want the name of the label of the name of the field as a placeholder, it needs and you want if you want to rename the field and have the placeholder to be renamed like this. Okay. So now if you have see the placeholder has been renamed. If you want that the name the in the comma here, the name you put here must be exactly the name of the field. So so that means it's easier to use that tool here to get that done. But if you want that like this, you click it, and now all the field you're going to drag here will be like this, right? So I don't know if that answers the question, but
yeah, he said TK said thanks, and he said that he didn't see the drag preference before.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's kind of hidden on the side over there. It's very hard to break habits. I know that. You know, I'm the first to force myself. At the beginning, you have to force yourself, and then after that, you say, "Wow, let's just get rid of these buttons here," you know, because those are much, you know. I like this one. I like this. Actually, because of this now, personally, see, I'm using more and more this kind of personally. This kind of construction, because it's kind of cool, much more modern to have the name of the labels like this, right? It's see, I have this kind of construction now. The name of the label small on top of the see. So now with this drag and drops option here, I can get my, you know, what I want just right there. Bam, a dragging, blam, I have them. And you can select multiple, and then you have all of them. Bam. See?
Nice.
Yes, it's cool. Just you have to reshuffle and stuff like that. But
yeah, much easier than starting from scratch.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay.
No other questions?
No other questions. So thank you, Nick, for showing us this, and I guess we'll be back tomorrow with Richard and you for day 3 of themes, and continuing on with this. And remember, everyone, to always check out our schedule for the live streams and the upcoming events to register for whatever you want to come to. But otherwise, thank you again, Nick, and we'll see you all tomorrow.
Okay, see you tomorrow.
Just stepped up the whole way. Calm, cool, collected the quarterback. Great read, good patience. More importantly, great job up front protecting this quarterback to give you a chance. And that's all you can ask for.
Trying to rally down 10. 9:25 to go here in the 4th. Short motion by Amendola from the left. Brady takes the shotgun snap, stands in, throws it left for Amendola, reaches up and snacks a high throw and lands inside the 10, rolling to the 9. Ball slightly behind him, but Danny makes the grab.